The buy, borrow, die strategy works if you are an average or high earner, planning for retirement, or already in retirement. Most high earners watch nearly half of their paycheck go to taxes. But there's a powerful strategy people with assets use that combine strategic borrowing with income producing assets. How's it going, everyone? My name is John Howard. I've been doing videos mostly on real estate for the last many pieces of content. I also do other videos on things like investing, also credit. I started doing YouTube videos on YouTube actually on credit, and I'm going to be doing more of those because here we are, it's the end of 2025, and real estate prices are really starting to kind of get hit and come down, so it's presenting an opportunity to buy, right? So anyway, so this is going to be really the first video, or maybe not the first one, but one of the first ones on the buy, borrow, die strategy, which is a little bit popular in terms of like news and pop culture, right? Because, it's really what the wealthy have done, people with assets have done for a really, really long time in our country. And now that, the reality is that you just need to buy assets and do it, right? And because real estate has appreciated so much in the last, let's say, really since the Great Recession, right? People are employing the strategy and holding on to the assets, getting liquidity, tax free, and it works because you're effectively getting multiple benefits from a real estate investment, and you're continuing to pay the asset down over time, and it's continuing to appreciate over time, right? So here's the core concept: borrow money at low interest rates to purchase 3x assets, right? Investments that generate 3x your return. 3x your initial investment within 3 years through cash flow, appreciation, and tax savings. It is important to find assets with tax incentives that deliver substantially greater tax benefits than comparable investments. Short and midterm rentals are an investment vehicle that accomplish this. Unlike stocks or real estate you live in, obviously, we're talking about real estate purchases here, right? But not real estate that you live in, right? Furnished rentals offer multiple wins: cash flow from rental income, appreciation, depreciation that reduces your taxable income, and then also active income offset from, the 7 nights or less rentals, or even, and that can be done through the STR tax loophole, or you can qualify for real estate professional status, or you could just work for 100 hours, a year, which is obviously a very low bar. I'm not an accountant, not financial advice, but there's a lot of details around being able to offset your active income with short-term rentals, or working 100 hours a year on your properties, or real estate professional status, right? You also have loan amortization over time, growth in your equity, and paying off a property that you actually could retire in, right? So also under IRS code section 469C7, if qualified as a real estate professional through material participation, which is 100 hours annually or more, you can deduct all real estate expenses against your W-2 income, and not just your real estate income, right? This strategy is often powerful for those approaching or already in retirement. If you're transitioning away from a W-2 income, the material participation requirement becomes much easier to meet when you have more time flexibility, and the tax savings can significantly extend the life of your retirement portfolio while building lasting wealth. Here's an example. You earn $100,000 a year and typically pay $25,000 in taxes. You purchase a $300,000 investment property and conduct a cost segregation study. You deduct $75,000. With 60% bonus depreciation available in 2024, and actually now more available in 2025, it's actually up to 100% in 2025 through January 2030. That's $45,000 to $75,000 in immediate deductions, potentially dropping your taxes to $11,000 dollars or even $0, right? In year one alone. So what's the borrowed money advantage? Well, the borrowed money isn't taxable income. You can really do it in 3 ways, right? Well, multiple ways, actually. You could do it through home equity, a HELOC, a home equity loan, a home equity agreement, which a home equity agreement is you just get the cash and then you don't even pay a monthly payment, but Wall Street's going to charge about 20% on that, and they're going to take some of your appreciation, right? You could also do a refi cash out. You're actually receiving funds without triggering a taxable event. Obviously, you're going to be getting a loan. You're going to be making payments on that loan, but the interest on those loan payments are tax deductible. When your interest rates are low, you can borrow cheaply to acquire appreciating assets while reducing your tax burden. The goal isn't only to avoid taxes, it's also to strategically redeploy your capital that would have otherwise gone to the IRS and long-term wealth building assets that generate ongoing returns. So the thing is like, it might have sounded like I was talking about retirement, somebody that's in retirement. I mean, the fact is that I am going to start talking more about retirement because this sort of strategy is pretty good for people that are in retirement or getting ready to retire, or they're kind of mid-career like me, like midlife, and they're getting ready to maybe get another property, right? And they'll have the time to actually, manage that. Not that it really takes that much time, but it is distracting when you have a very demanding full-time career and you have to do other side hustles, right? But the fact is that you could do buy, borrow, die. I mean, even if you don't have good credit, and you don't have a lot of money, you could still get partners. I mean, it works the best for actually somebody that's a high income earner because you're going to be best qualified. You're going to be, the most qualified to actually get a mortgage and then run that investment property. But again, that person, you can be a high income earner. You can be in a very busy career. You could be younger than midlife. In fact, somebody that's even in their 20s and 30s, it could be a good idea to start to do some real estate investment property, because down the line you could get a 30-year mortgage, and 30 years down the line you could actually have a property paid off, and you could retire into a paid off property, which is obviously hugely beneficial. But anyway, so the thing is, I've been doing this, I've been seeing that this buy, borrow, die is pretty popular in the media, and also becoming more popular in pop culture. So I want to start doing more, of the content. And again, it's not just for people that are, retiring or getting ready to retire, or shifting from, midlife into a busy career, into, starting to buy some properties. It really can work for young people as well. The spirit of actually doing some of these real estate videos and this buy, borrow, die concept is, for me, I've actually done short and midterm furnished rentals for literally the last 20 years. And during that time frame, I also launched and operated 4 different businesses that all went up to 7 figures or more per year, generating probably about $20 million in the process. During that time, I actually didn't have an exit, right? I didn't have an exit in my non-real estate businesses, but I held on to my properties. And fast forward to now, I've got, I do usually between 10 and 38,000 per month in booking revenue. And then there's usually multiple months in a year where the booking revenue is $20,000 or more. The properties is 3 properties, and the value is about $3 million. And the mortgages are very attractive, 2.875, 30-year fixed mortgages. So it's a very attractive place to be, even with values coming down. It's like, well, okay, I mean, I've got my debt and I keep paying them down, right? The buy, borrow, die works because you could take that equity. Now you're going to have constraints, of course, LTV constraints. You got to have, most of the time you've got to have pretty good credit, although you can have not the greatest credit and still actually borrow from your equity. Nowadays you've got the HELOCs, you've got, again, home equity loans, and then also the home equity agreements have pretty low FICO score requirements. But it actually, it's really something that's good to do alongside of it. And real estate is pretty much a great investment because it's one of the few investments, and I'm actually not really aware of any other investments that you get multiple benefits from, right? You basically get like 6 really strong benefits, which are rental income and cash flow, appreciation, which 1964 to 2025, U.S. National was about 4.24%. Then if you look at the Case-Shiller Index, 1995 to 2025 is about 309%, but when you factor in a 10% down payment, that's really 3,090%, which you're basically beating the NASDAQ and Warren Buffett by 10x over 30 years, and that's just appreciation. Number 3, you get incredible tax benefits, again, from depreciation and active income offset. And then you get number 4, amortization, which I think is probably the best because it's a guarantee. You're guaranteed to make those payments and pay that loan down. Not many not many guarantees in this world, and another guarantee is you're guaranteed to spend a lot of money to exist. So you're going to have 1,000, 2,000, whatever it is, flow through your bank just to exist. And I don't know about you, but I would much rather have an investment property that I'm paying down than not, right? Because that amortization is guaranteed money that I will see a return on because I'm paying a loan down. And then number 5, you get the ability to borrow against your equity so that you can acquire more property. And then number 6, which I don't hear a lot, but you set up a game plan to actually pay a property off in 30 years so that you can retire in a paid off property, right? So those are 6 pretty strong investments. Anyway, if you would, like any of this content, if you like the buy, borrow, die stuff, you can consider giving the video a like. You could also consider subscribing to the channel. If you are someone that is interested in getting into real estate investing and doing kind of some of the, exploring some of what I've talked about, you can look at the links in the description area of this video. You can click on it. I've got something called the SMTR Launch Kit, which stands for Short Medium Term Rentals Launch Kit. It's actually really cheap right now. It's only $9. You could get it. And then I also have very economical email coaching. And I'm going to do email coaching right now. And then eventually, if I get too many people, I'll have to do like a group thing or whatever. But for now, it's just email coaching, right? And yeah, so if you, maybe not yourself, if you don't want to get into real estate investing, you can forward this video to someone that does want to get into it that you know of, and then set them up. Other than that, if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments area, and thank you very much.